There's this terrifying feeling that comes with not knowing where you're going. When I think about it in relation to real time, if you do not know where you're going, you can put an address in a GPS navigation system which will guide you to your destination. My name is Namakau, and I'm an alternative R&B and hip hop artist from South Africa. And this is my video journal where we ponder on life's questions as creatives and connect authentically and speak on things that affect us, speak on things that we think about, and perhaps provide some perspective on how we can reframe our thinking to break out of loops and cycles that keep us stuck. Vision. Vision is such a beautiful thing to have and understand. This inner knowing, this unshakable knowing, it's the unchangeable address that you put in your GPS navigation system to get you where you're going. So for those of us who are big dreamers or visionaries, sometimes we feel overwhelmed by our vision. I know my dreams can get so overwhelming. Sometimes I feel lost, which is why I started this video journal. And sometimes I feel like I know exactly what's happening. And I'm trying to tap into that inner knowing more than anything to guide how I move and show up every day. An inner knowing that calls on clarity when I feel lost. Knowing that solutions can present themselves to me when I ask. Seeking and finding. And I think those two terms, seeking and finding, just really ties into this idea of vision, looking, following intuitive nudges, embracing your thoughts, your creativity, dreaming big. I feel like sometimes life forces us to shrink ourselves, and I speak about this a lot, where you know that you're destined for way more than you are seeing in your life. And sometimes you get this feedback that no, this is not your destiny. And those inner voices that stop us, that old programming, or even just systematic oppression, these are things that I genuinely believe we can get past. Getting past the limitations, putting a cap on your own dreams is just not going to cut it. And I'm speaking for myself as much as I'm speaking for my community. So how do you get clarity on your big dreams? And how do you show up in alignment with your big dreams? You know, people often say, you must feel it. You must act like you're a boss and you'll become a boss. Fake it till you make it. But I'd like to offer a perspective that is more grounded. When you are in a reality where you're trying to change from the inside, I think it's important to acknowledge who you are right now, what you have been through, going over the things that have shaped you and perhaps blocked your vision, the situations where you realize that wasn't truly who you were, or that didn't feel aligned with who you are as a person, and changing your mind about who you're becoming, because you need to shift into a place of alignment to actualize yourself. Vision is powerful, but I think integrating vision with becoming is even more powerful. I cannot lie, I feel so much discomfort coming on the camera and sharing my thoughts, but it's something that I've always wanted to do. And the only thing that has really stopped me is myself. And it definitely comes from a world that is shaping us to be hooked on external validation, comparison. Like, why does my journey not look like their journey? Because you have your own journey and you need to have your own vision, your own destination. You cannot be like anyone else. You can only be yourself. That is clarity. Clarity is knowing, is understanding, is questioning the journey that is you, the mountain that is you. Connecting with yourself. You see, I think I'm also a shapeshifter. And as a shapeshifter, my vision is always being remolded. And sometimes I am in direct alignment with my vision and then I change, I expand. And it gets so uncomfortable to try and break out of that old version of yourself when you're trying to expand, when your vision is changing, when your mantras are changing, when your prayers are changing. The world is changing alongside you, mind you me. The economy is changing. Our governments have been changing. And so we are changing too, just like how the world is changing, how we are not separate from nature. We are nature. So, with that said, if nature is continuously changing before our eyes, so are we. And that looks like giving your vision and your dreams permission to change. Are we giving ourselves permission to change and expand? I'm thinking about how I'm working on my vision board and I realized I've changed so much. I'm asking and visualizing different things. I'm seeing myself in different spaces. I see success differently. For me, success would be making music as I am now. Success is making music. Success is building community. Success is speaking on mental health. Success is speaking on African spirituality and wellness. It's integrating music into the mix of how we can heal, being an advocate for it in the music and in real time. Just like in these reflections that we are having, as you get to know me as a person and as a thinker, I see this vision and I see it clearly. I just don't know how I am going to get there, interestingly enough. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I know that that's where I am supposed to be. And I sit with that feeling and I savor that feeling of the idea and the notion and the knowing that I could be something greater than all the limitations that have been put on me by myself, by parents, by teachers, old friends, old environments, and breaking past versions of myself and growing into new versions of myself. It's an inner knowing. It's a vision I hold deeply. And so perhaps we can think about our visions and expand ourselves and actualize who we know we are meant to be.